Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
We've got a Max Holloway health update, and with it comes good news and bad news. Now, we like to do the bad news first so we can end on a good note. So the bad news is it's still unclear what really went on with Max Holloway ahead of UFC 226 when he was set to defend his title against Brian Ortega but was forced out of the fight due to concussion-like symptoms. Now, there was reports and rumors that Max Holloway had possibly suffered a concussion in training camp leading up to this fight. But there was also reports that it could have been water poisoning from trying to water load for the weight cut. And then there was also rumors or reports that Max Holloway's symptoms could have been from a mini stroke. You know, those were stroke-like symptoms. I mean, and if you recall the symptoms, he was slurring his words. It looked like his face may have been drooped a little bit on one side, and he just wasn't himself. He seemed a little loopy in his interviews, to the point to where people were asking him in the interviews, "Hey, are you okay coming into this fight, man? Like, are you good?" And, you know, and so people were even calling him out on it. Like, are you sure you're healthy enough to be fighting? And he actually said, you know, as a fighter, he was still going to fight. But it got to the point to where his team and his family and coaches and doctors were telling him, listen, this is not good. He said a doctor, you know, one of the things that really got to him was the doctor said, you know, if you go into this fight and even if you come out healthy, there might be a time where you go to sleep and you don't wake up after the fight, even if you feel healthy. So you might really want to get this figured out and not fight through this. And so Max Holloway was pulled out of the fight. But, and you know, Brian Ortega was pulled off the card, and we all know how that played out. But at the same time, we were hoping for doctors to be able to figure out what was going on with Max Holloway. Was it the weight cut? Was it water poisoning? Was it a concussion? And we still haven't figured that out. But Max Holloway is feeling healthy, and so he's feeling like, you know, even though we don't know what the issue was, I still feel like I'm going to be ready to defend my belt by the end of the year. Even if we don't get it figured out, I'm starting to feel normal. So if they can't get it figured out, what's he supposed to do? Never fight again? If he feels good and he's ready to fight, then he's probably going to get in there and fight if the doctors can't figure out what happened. So that's a little concerning, though, to be honest. But with that being said, here's what Max Holloway had to say. I see a lot of people in the media talking about weight cut, stroke, or whatever. I've grown up in front of everyone's eyes here in the UFC. It wasn't a weight cut issue. I made weight 20 plus times. You guys have been there through the hard weight cuts, the easy ones, and the hard training camps. You guys have been there through everything, and this wasn't it. This wasn't a weight cut thing. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. He continued and said, they put me on medical suspension for like 30 days now. We're taking it slow. They still didn't figure out what was wrong, but everything's coming back good, and they're just being cautious with me right now. We should get back to business hopefully before the end of the year. So his tests are coming back good, but they can't figure out what it was. So what the heck? Was it a bug, you know, that was in the air? We don't. If they don't figure anything out, and it wasn't, maybe Max Holloway, maybe we need to find out if it was a concussion. But I think if that was the case, he would have said so, right? So I don't know. It's just a little sketchy to me that the doctors haven't been able to find out what it is. He's going to be coming back to fight. It makes you wonder, is he going to be at 100% in his next fight? Is he going to question himself? You know, even if he's physically at 100%, how is he going to feel mentally coming into his next fight? Like, yo, we never figured out what the fuck was going on with me. But he's feeling good. So I don't know, man. It's a weird situation that's going on here with the UFC's featherweight champion, Max Holloway. But the good news is, you know, we like to end on good news, is that he's feeling healthy. The tests are all coming back clear, and that's the positive. You know, they're running all the tests they can. The UFC's got some of the best doctors in the world. I'm sure he's getting the best doctors and the best tests ran on him, and everything's coming back good, coming back clear. So they're going to monitor him and make sure he's healthy before he comes back. And that's the good thing. He's looking like he's going to be able to come back by the end of the year. So we don't have to worry about him potentially getting stripped or anything like that. Because keep in mind, also, Max Holloway was forced out of UFC 222, but with a separate injury. That was an ankle injury. So The clock's kind of ticking on his next title defense, even though Max Holloway is the rightful featherweight champion. With that being said, we'll keep you updated here. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're new. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the bell right next to it so you get notified every time we upload a new video. This is the hardest working MMA channel on YouTube. We provide daily updates. We do predictions, betting advice, songs, fantasy fights. We create all different types of MMA related content on a daily basis. We've also interviewed Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley, Bruce Lutchmedio, and Felony Charles Bennett all in just 1 year as an MMA channel. We're still small, but we're definitely one of the fastest growing on YouTube. So with that being said, if you want to see even more videos like this, make sure you check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo over on patreon.com. There's more free videos over here, and you can also learn more about where this channel came from and see the goals of this channel as we continue to grow. So with that being said, whether you're a long-time subscriber or just a new person watching this video, I appreciate it. And we recently just got approved as an Onnit affiliate, so we got what you need. Whether you're trying to think clearer, work out harder, or sleep better, check the links in the description for a 100% free trial of Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Sport, or a New Mood. I'm telling you, we got what you need. Links are in the description. See you on the next video.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.